Hey everybody, it's Robin again. This is my 4 months on testosterone video. It's actually a few days past the actual mark, but I don't want to sound like everybody else in their videos. I was so busy, but I really was busy, and then when I wasn't busy, I was lazy, and I really like to procrastinate sometimes and do nothing. So, that being said, it's close enough to my 4 months on testosterone, so this is my video. I have a list as always, and I'll probably jump around a little bit, but my voice is probably a little bit lower to me sometimes. Like I said before, it seems like it has days where it's higher, it seems like it has days where it's lower. It's just all over the place, and my voice has been cracking a lot more when I'm speaking to people, and it's embarrassing. But I do a pretty good donkey impersonation, and of course people have been calling me an ass lately too, so maybe that's a good thing. I also can yodel because you know, I'm fluctuating, cracking, going up and down. So, I know there's a lot of yodelers out there, so it's a big deal. I did get my pump since my last video and this one, and I have used it a few times. There have been some noticeable changes, and I don't know, I don't do it regularly or anything, but there's been some significant growth on top of what was growing anyway, so that's good, I guess. Moving right along. My Happy Trail now has, last time Lindsay counted, 13 prominent dark hairs on the Happy Trail. And I'm starting to notice the more little fuzzy of a trail above the belly button. So I'm just getting fuzzy everywhere. The little triangle above my ass crack, that's becoming fuzzy. There was never hair there before. And just pretty much everywhere is fuzz. It's really light and blonde for the most part, aside from the Happy Trail, which is weird. But other than that, it's just really, really fair fluff. So it's going crazy. I have gained about 5 more pounds. And like I went for a bike ride today. I haven't really been eating better, and I haven't really been eating worse. I don't know. It's some good stuff, it's some bad stuff. I just haven't worked out as much as I would like to, so hopefully I can get that weight back down a little bit. I had, before testosterone, I had really bad sleep apnea, where I would just stop breathing in my sleep for a while, and then wake myself up gasping for air. And that, since being on testosterone, has gotten worse. I wake up often because of the snoring that's really bad, or there's times where I wake up in the mornings and my throat is just so sore, like I have been snoring and sleeping with my mouth open all night, just trying to gasp for air. So that's kind of miserable, but my endocrinologist did warn me that that may happen if I already have issues with snoring and stuff like that, so I was expecting that to happen. The next thing on my list, I've noticed some more veins in my arms, and like my legs and feet are becoming more veiny, and my feet and my hands, to me, have seemed a bit more, I don't know, bulky. They're not like swollen and chubby or anything, but they just seem more meaty, you know. Maybe it's just me, but I've looked at my hands for my whole life, and so I think that they're thickening up and getting a little wider, and so forth and so on. The fat redistribution is continuing. The love handles on the side and the muffin top and everything, it's all kind of redistributing to the beer belly. and where my stomach used to be a little more flatter above the belly button, it is now protruding more forward, which I think is actually making my boobs look smaller than they are because within the last week I have been called sir and have gotten male pronouns with just about everybody that was a stranger, you know, that I've never met before. And so I don't really know if I can complain about the beer belly if it's making the boobs look smaller. But still, I don't really want to have a beer belly, so I would like to have no beer belly and no boobs. That'd be great. My shoulders and chest seem more muscular and defined to me. I'm feeling pretty good about that because before they were just kind of soft and squishy and feminine looking. Now it seems a bit more beefy. Let's see. Crying. I've heard some trans guys mention in their videos that they're just unable to cry now that they're on testosterone. That is not the case with me. I've always been pretty emotional. If something tugs at my heartstrings, you know, if something's really moving and for whatever reason, if it's really sad or if it's just a really emotional storyline, you know, I don't know. There are things that can still make me cry, and I have. But I've also heard some trans guys saying that they get so aggressive being on testosterone, and I don't feel like I'm much more aggressive than I was before. I know that I don't put up with people's shit as easily, and maybe that makes me seem like an asshole, but I just don't want to tolerate bullshit. So I don't know, maybe that's what they're talking about, but it's not like I'm storming around like an angry gorilla wanting to punch walls or, you know, flip tables upside down. It's not that type of a deal for me. So that's that. And let's see. Oh, I went to I've been having this blurry vision spot, and I went to an eye specialist, and I actually have something that's called central serous retinopathy, and the specialist said that it's typically found in men, but I had it developing before I started testosterone. I know I had something wrong with my vision before that, and it's just in my left eye. And what it is it's just like fluid behind the retina, and it's causing a blurry spot in whatever I look at. The right eye is fine, and so it kind of overcompensates, and so unless I cover up the right eye, it doesn't affect me that much. But I went back and saw the specialist, and they did some more tests for a second time, and it seems to be getting better. The fluid bulge is smaller, so that's a good thing. But like I said, I don't think that it's entirely the testosterone's fault, because it's I had vision problems before that. Let's see. My eyebrows. I've always had really blonde, like you could barely see my eyebrows in pictures and stuff like that. My eyebrows, I think, are getting darker and thicker. And they're becoming more wild and crazy, like with calyx, where they like to just stick up, you know, and I have to like lay them down, and they've never been thick or anything like that before, so I've been having to deal with that. So I grew my facial hair out for almost 3 weeks since the last video, and it's getting some good dark coarse whiskers down under the chin here, but the rest of it is still really light. And I just shaved again this morning after almost a week of growing it back out, and I used a new razor, and I can already feel a little bit of stubble trying to come out. So I don't want to be one of those guys that has like 5 o'clock shadow or anything like that. But I also don't have very dark hair, so I don't think I'll have a problem with that. So I think that's all off of my list that I had. I also wanted to just say that I'm really thankful for some of my transgendered friends that I have out there. You know, just having this community where I can ask questions, you know, maybe from a trans guy who's gone through this stuff before. It's just really great to be able to ask somebody who knows. Where I live, I'm sure there are some trans guys, but none of them that I know personally. And so the ones that I do know, whether through YouTube or what have you, I'm just really thankful that they're there to answer questions that I have. And I kind of, you know, I would like to be that same type of person. You know, if anybody asks me questions, I would like to, if I can and if I know, I would like to give them answers, you know, for at least, because it's different for everyone, but I would at least like to, you know, share what I do know. And because there are some things that some trans guys don't talk about in their videos. A lot of the transition is a personal thing, and a lot of people don't like sharing personal things about themselves to others, whether it makes them feel vulnerable or whatever their reasons are. I'm pretty much an open book, though. And, oh, one thing I didn't mention, that reminds me, my period has still been like light days. It went away for about a week, and then it continues being like light days for 2 or 3 weeks straight. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wouldn't just go away and die. But anyways, going back, I am thankful to the trans community and everybody who's being so open and helpful. It's great to have that, and I thank you guys. And I also just, I'm really appreciative for the, I don't know, the way society is kind of, it's much more accepting than it would have been even just 5 years ago. It seems like people are, you know, still a little uneasy about it because they're uneducated about it, and there's not enough of it in the media to educate them. But I'm so thankful that in this little town that I live in, that there's an endocrinologist that has had experience dealing with transgender patients, and that there's all kinds of places to go for, you know, whatever kind of therapy you need or surgery you need. I just think it's great that there's all of this out there where, you know, we can try to work on ourselves and get our bodies to match the way we feel inside and to match our brain the way we think. I'm just really thankful that at this time in my life I was able to do this transition and start it out, and I already feel so much better about myself. I have more confidence. Yeah, I've gained weight, and I'm sure I look fatter to some people or what have you, but I still feel more like me. People are calling me sir, and it just feels right. It seems to fit. And even though I'm only 4 months on testosterone, I just feel so much better about myself, and I can't wait, you know, for the rest of this journey and to see what it's all going to turn out like. I'm really excited, and I'm really thankful. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know how long this has been, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.